In a Manhattan courtroom, on a day that will be etched into the annals of legal history, a figure synonymous with charm, integrity, and global influence stepped forward, not as an actor playing a role, but as a witness bearing the weight of a chilling truth. George Clooney, the Hollywood icon revered for his humanitarian work and political connections, took the stand on day 16 of the federal trial of Sean "Diddy" Combs. His testimony wasn't just a legal maneuver, it was a seismic event that sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond. With a steady voice and a resolute gaze, Clooney uttered words that could redefine power, privilege, and accountability in the modern age. "I'm here to break the silence." Diddy didn't just harm individuals, he built an empire of darkness. Why would a man of Clooney's stature, someone who has rubbed shoulders with presidents, dined with philanthropists, and earned universal respect, risk everything to confront one of the music industry's most formidable titans? What secrets could be so harrowing that they compelled him to shatter decades of silence? This isn't just a story about a trial. It's a saga of courage, complicity, and the hidden machinations that lurk beneath the glittering surface of fame. Join us as we unravel the layers of Clooney's testimony, dissect its implications, and explore what it means for the future of justice in Hollywood. Buckle up. This journey will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about power and privilege. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated on this unfolding saga. On day 16 of the trial, the courtroom buzzed with anticipation, but no one could have predicted the figure who would take the stand. George Clooney, clad not in a tailored suit for a red carpet, but in the somber attire of a witness, stepped forward with a presence that commanded silence. His eyes, often twinkling with charisma on screen, were steely, burdened with the weight of truths too heavy to carry alone. "I never wanted to be here," he began, his voice cutting through the courtroom like a blade. "But there are things I've seen, truths I can't take to my grave." Clooney's testimony wasn't just a recounting of events, it was a declaration of war against a system that thrives on silence and complicity. He described Diddy not as a mere individual, but as the architect of a sprawling machine, one that manipulated, coerced, and exploited under the guise of glamour. His words painted a picture of an industry where power isn't just currency, it's a weapon. But what drove Clooney to this moment? Why now and why him? Let's dive into the details of his testimony, piece by piece, to understand the gravity of his revelations. Clooney's account began with a seemingly innocuous encounter in 2013 at one of Diddy's infamous white parties in the Hamptons. These gatherings, known for their opulence and star-studded guest lists, were more than just social events, they were stages for ambition. Clooney recounted a conversation that chilled him to the core. "Diddy approached me with a smile that didn't reach his eyes," he said. "He told me, 'Rap won't change the world, George. True power lies in places like the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, the Gates Foundation. You're my ticket to that world.'" This wasn't just about fame or wealth. Diddy sought to transcend his identity as a music mogul. He wanted to be a global player, a figure who could stand shoulder to shoulder with world leaders. Clooney, with his connections to political giants like Barack Obama and his reputation as a humanitarian, was the perfect bridge to that world. But Clooney saw through the facade. It wasn't about changing the world, he testified. It was about power, raw, unfiltered power. Diddy wanted to control the narrative, not just in Hollywood, but in the corridors of global influence. This revelation underscores a broader theme in the entertainment industry. The pursuit of power often masquerades as philanthropy or progress. Diddy's ambition to infiltrate elite circles mirrors a historical pattern where influential figures leverage their fame to gain access to untouchable spheres. Clooney's decision to play along, to enter the tiger's den to catch the beast, as he put it, highlights his strategic mindset, a calculated risk to gather evidence against a man he described as a cunning fox. This wasn't just personal, it was a mission to dismantle a system. The heart of Clooney's testimony lay in his description of a secret gathering, a lair, as he called it, that revealed the true extent of Diddy's influence. In the summer of 2013, Clooney received a cryptic invitation, a plain white card with GPS coordinates and a timestamp, 2 a.m. "I thought it was a prank," he admitted, until a text from an unknown number told me to follow the coordinates, wear black, and leave my phone behind. Driven by curiosity and a growing sense of unease, Clooney took precautions, equipping himself with a concealed camera hidden in his watch, a tool he'd used before to navigate Hollywood's treacherous underbelly. What he witnessed that night was beyond comprehension. A black SUV transported him to a desolate parking lot near a well-known amusement park, a place where millions of families visit unaware of the shadows beneath. A steel door led to a concrete corridor guarded by men Clooney described as machines, not bodyguards, cold, calculating, and fully aware of who I was without checking my ID. At the end of the corridor was a heavy metal door, opening into a vast underground chamber bathed in dim, eerie light, with music pulsing like a heartbeat. "This wasn't a party," Clooney testified, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and sorrow. "It was a ritual, a perverse ceremony." He described a scene where billionaires, Oscar winners, tech moguls, and even elected officials donned robes and masks, signing non-disclosure agreements as if it were routine. They laughed, participated, and shielded one another in a web of silence. Clooney's words painted a chilling picture, a world where the powerful indulged in depravity, protected by mutual complicity. Unique perspective. This account raises a haunting question. How many of our idols, those we celebrate for their talent or altruism, are complicit in systems of exploitation? Clooney's testimony suggests that fame isn't just a platform, it's a shield for those who wield it unethically. The lair isn't just a physical space, it's a metaphor for the hidden networks that sustain power through silence. By choosing to observe rather than participate, Clooney positioned himself as both a witness and a whistleblower, risking everything to expose the truth. Clooney's most damning contribution to the trial was his evidence, a photograph of a guest book and a series of covertly recorded videos. Near the entrance of the lair, he spotted a hardcover ledger where attendees signed their names, pledging their silence. "I didn't sign," Clooney said, "but I saw the names on the previous page, names that would stun the nation." Using his hidden camera, he captured an image of the page, which included politicians, A-list stars, and behind-the-scenes power brokers. He submitted this photograph to the court, along with a handwritten list of names he recalled. The videos, stored on an encrypted hard drive, were even more explosive. "I know what I'm about to reveal will horrify people," Clooney warned the courtroom. The footage depicted soundproof underground chambers where vulnerable individuals, whom Diddy allegedly called nuggets, were treated as props in a twisted game. Clooney described scenes of masked figures, laughing and toasting, while these individuals were humiliated and abused. One video, played briefly in court, showed Diddy directing a ritual with chilling precision, his voice cold and authoritative as he commanded masked figures to act on a blindfolded individual. Clooney's testimony took a deeply personal turn when he recounted the consequences of his actions. In 2014, at one of Diddy's freak-off parties, he was secretly recording when Diddy confronted him. "He didn't say much," Clooney recalled. "He just stared at me, signaled to his henchmen, and then I felt a sharp blow to my head." He awoke in a hospital, battered and disoriented, having been drugged and beaten. A month later, an envelope arrived at his Lake Como home with a USB drive and a chilling message: "Welcome home, George." The USB contained footage of Clooney unconscious, stripped, and humiliated by Diddy's associates, with Diddy directing the scene. The final image was the most devastating. His wife, Amal, bound and bruised, her eyes filled with terror. Diddy's voice on the video warned, "Go to the police, George, and your family will pay the price." Clooney's voice broke as he recounted contacting Diddy, begging for his family's safety. In exchange, Diddy coerced him into facilitating a business deal, an illegal arms trafficking operation disguised as a legitimate venture. Diddy's legal team didn't sit idly by. Lead attorney Mark Agnifilo challenged Clooney's credibility, questioning why a global superstar wouldn't go to the police immediately. You expect us to believe you were coerced by Mr. Combs. Agnifilo pressed. Clooney's response was unflinching. I knew the cost of speaking out. I'd seen careers shattered, reputations destroyed. And when my wife was threatened, I had no choice. Diddy himself interrupted, his voice quivering. George, you're lying. I never touched you or your wife. But Clooney's calm retort, Sean, you know the truth, and the videos don't lie, silenced the courtroom. Clooney's testimony isn't just about Diddy, it's about the machine he represents. The guest book, the videos, the coerced deals, they reveal a network of power built on silence, intimidation, and mutual protection. Clooney's mention of Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, as a peacemaker at white parties adds another layer, suggesting that even family ties were leveraged to sustain this empire. She wasn't just his mother, Clooney said. She was part of the machine. This raises profound questions. How deep does this network run? Who else is complicit? And what does it mean for an industry that thrives on public adoration? Clooney's evidence, names, videos, transaction records, could spark new investigations, threatening politicians, celebrities, and executives. But the cost to Clooney is immense. Retaliation, exile from Hollywood, and the constant fear for his family's safety. This story isn't just about one trial, it's about accountability. Share your thoughts in the comments. What does Clooney's testimony mean for Hollywood? Should more celebrities speak out? Hit that like button if you believe in the power of truth, and subscribe to join our community demanding justice. As George Clooney stepped down from the witness stand, a heavy silence enveloped the courtroom. He had paid a steep price, his safety, his reputation, and countless sleepless nights haunted by memories of a depraved world. Yet his testimony ignited a spark of hope, that justice, though delayed, could still prevail. This isn't just Diddy's story, it's a reckoning for an industry and a society that have too long turned a blind eye to power's abuses. Don't let this story end here. Subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and join us as we uncover more revelations from Clooney's list and track the ripple effects through Hollywood and Washington. Share this video with friends and spark a conversation, because the truth only prevails when we refuse to stay silent. Together, we can shine a light on the shadows. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into this explosive case.